Fala pessoal, voltamos à continuação de Final Fantasy XVI. A gente parou aqui no último vídeo. Vamos comprar uns itens aqui agora que vão ajudar em nossa jornada. Aumenta a quantidade de guilds em 35. Vamos sim. Aumenta a quantidade de XP em 15. E esse outro aqui, o ponto de habilidade em 20. Comprar esses três. Deixa eu ver se equipou no lugar correto. Aqui. XP em 15. E o outro aqui, guilds em 35. Beleza. Antes de XP era só 10 e guild 25. Vamos lá.
Norseman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Deixa eu ver o conhecimento nele aqui, como é que tá.
Is there something I might assist you with, Clive? I have a few new notes that might interest you. You wish to study the tomes?
Ah, tá parado no nível 3 ainda.
The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a Stolas. All right. I'll have a look.
and then you get some rest.
What could Gav have
Então
thought
aquela
worthy
marca
of
no
that?
rosto tirou com um bisturi.
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new shield.
Eu não sei se teria sido melhor deixar a marca ou tirar, né? Então o Gav
What does
mandou
Gav
uma
have to say?
notícia.
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kuka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
he did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
Pô, cara, o Cid não podia morrer. Sacanagem.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well. What would make Martha leave the rest? What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
My favorite pupil. What is it that you wish to learn? One must understand one's place in the world. The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Pra onde eu vou agora? Onde que fica isso? Tem a quest secundária ali que eu não vou fazer agora. Vou fazer depois.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
I reckon. Let's get you to a physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
$400 daqui.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Anything catch your eye?
Não é nada aqui. Tá muito longe. Será que eu consigo viajar pra cá? Não, né? Nossa, eu vou ter que ir a pé até ali. É. Tem jeito não, vambora.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields? Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
This one. It's over.
Esses itens aqui então eu acho que não compensa muito pegar não. Só confirmar. Isso aqui eu já tenho muito.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished.
Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Cara, que combo maravilhoso. Os inimigos tiveram nem chance.
Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg his aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid, where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Pô, sacanagem matar o cara só porque o cara tem poder, é complicado. Deixa eu ver aqui onde vai parar. Pela direita. Parece que é tipo um boss. Ameaças notórias. De vez em quando o Clive pode se deparar com criaturas maiores, mais rápidas e mais ferozes do que o normal. Derrotá-las pode render, além de renome, materiais raros que podem ser usados para criar novos equipamentos ou melhorar itens existentes. Você pode obter informações adicionais sobre a ameaça notória falando com o Mugo no esconderijo Nectar. Bicho grandinho. Tá brabo, tá com raiva. Experiências interessantes.
You didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A Empire was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Bom, pra cá eu consigo vir, né? Quest secundário ainda tá ali, então não sumiu. Tá, pra cá eu vou teletransportar, não vou andando não.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these black shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
É, aqui não tem mais nada. Vamos voltar ao esconderijo. Ué, ficou uma quest secundária ali. Onde foi? Ah, sim, tá ali. Depois eu faço. Vou fazer agora não.
Where's Gav?
But none of the curse breakers ever returned.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sanbreque. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Bancada com algumas missões, eu acho. Nos recursos, os seguintes recursos de esconderijo estão disponíveis agora: relatório de aliados, sussurro de benfeitor, quadro e caçadas. Ou seja, mais coisas secundárias para fazer.
What are we waiting for indeed?
Onde que ele fica mesmo? Deixa eu lembrar onde é que ele fica. Aqui, devo ter ganho alguma música, ganhei, mas coloquei só para assumir ali o ícone. Tá, onde é que eu vou achar o bichinho? Deixa eu ver. Acho que é pra cá. Ou não. Ah, aqui mesmo. Primeiro vamos ver o que tem aqui.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye?
Tem uma missão aqui. Não é possível viajar neste momento, tá.
Always something in there.
Oh, Clive! Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friends' donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Sussurro do benfeitor. Concluir missões secundárias aumenta renome de Clive. Inspirando benfeitores anônimos, escondendo gêmeos e fazendo doações em dinheiro ou itens para a causa dele. Fale com o Desirê no sussurro do benfeitor no refeitório do esconderijo para ver o nível de renome atual e aceitar doações disponíveis. Interessante. Renome 25. Então provavelmente a gente vai fazendo isso aqui e vai liberando as outras coisas. Ó, o Manel do Berserk. Tá, vou fazer isso aqui em off, porque missão secundária não vai precisar fazer em vídeo, porque não tem segredo nenhum. Não tem nenhuma história pra contar, nada. E aqui no Muggle...
Ah, yes. Our mysterious Moogle friend. Nectar, was it? I'll stick with Nectar if it's all the same to you. What seems to be the matter? The hunt board? It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know? Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Alastia are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Então esse aqui é um quadro de caçada, até parece um Monster Hunter. Quadro de caçada, relatório de monstros aterrorizando o campo são divulgados. Quadro de caçada, na esperança de que algum herói valente como Clive se prontifique a caçar e matar essas ameaças notórias, que nem foi aquela que apareceu. Aqui tá com um xizinho, porque a gente acabou de matar, né? E tem essas outras. O Anjo da Morte, é interessante. Belfegor. Se eu clicar nada aparece. Acho que não deve mostrar o local que eles estão. Provavelmente não. Vamos ter que achar. Nossa, os locais ficaram indisponíveis. Acho que eu vou ter que fazer a missão principal. Vou ver aqui as secundárias. Qualquer coisa eu volto. Eu tava dando uma olhada aqui, a gente não consegue viajar para lugar nenhum. Tá bloqueado. Então vamos pro ponto principal aqui que a gente tem que ir. Provavelmente depois disso aqui vai liberar. Deve ser algo que a gente tem que fazer urgente agora.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Bom, o ponto já é aqui. Vamos direto lá.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows chick like the Millers?
Que esse comerciante tem interessante aqui. Parece que todos vendem essa lâmina de Gaia. Não vai comprar nada aqui não.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself. That's a fair old scar you got there, by the way. How'd you get it? 2 more left to join the garrison this very moment.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosaria would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Tem que ir até o final então ali.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Vamos lá ver se a gente acha mais um aliado. Ó, inimigos novos.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Bom, aqui tem outro caminho. Opa, nível 27. Trança de chifre de touro. O que será isso?
More of my mother's men.
É, por aqui não dá pra vir. Vamos voltar. Foi bom, da experiênciazinha boa. Pegamos aquele item ali. Vamos pra cá. Parece que tem mais um vilarejozinho aqui. Nossa, até parece que eu vou no mesmo lugar.
That's a fair old scar you got there.
Muito igual. Ah, mas eu tô voltando no mesmo lugar mesmo, né? Nosso objetivo tá ali. Vou fazer o seguinte, pessoal, vou ficando por aqui. Se você gostou, curte, compartilha, se inscreve no canal. Até o próximo vídeo, valeu, fui!